Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about these celebrities that expose the Hollywood gatekeepers. But before we begin, I just wanted to let my Patreons know a new video further exposing Hollywood will be dropping June 30th on Patreon. This video will not be available on YouTube due to the guidelines. So if you're a Patreon, you can expect that video to drop soon. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. On this channel, we often talk about the evils of Hollywood, the disturbing stories that we hear about of just what goes on in Hollywood. For the most part, we already know Hollywood is ran by some sick, disturbing people who serve a sinister agenda. Just like in the music industry, Hollywood has gatekeepers, directors and studio executives that have all the power in the industry and only answer to the elite themselves. The gatekeepers of Hollywood who oversee it all and decide which actors become stars are known to abuse their power. These gatekeepers in control use their power and influence to get whatever they desire from these upcoming actors who are willing to pay the ultimate price for their fame and fortune. Rarely do we find out just what these celebrities have to pay to get those huge life-changing roles, as very few celebrities tend to reveal this. These stars know that if they come out and expose what they've been through in the industry, their careers will be over, or worse, they would be taken out. This is how Hollywood silences its victims. They hold their career over their heads. In today's episode, we will be looking into some brave celebrities who risked it all to reveal what they were put through in Hollywood. These celebrities paint a clear picture of what these gatekeepers in Hollywood require of their stars. The first actor we're going to be talking about is Matthew Lawrence. Matthew Lawrence is a 43-year-old actor, best known for his roles in Mrs. Doubtfire, where he played the son Chris, and in Boy Meets World, where he played Jack Hunter. Matthew has been in Hollywood for quite a while, as he started acting all the way back in the 80s, landing his first role in 1987's comedy film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Matthew will go on to be a part of many shows, securing many small roles. In 1993, he was in Mrs. Doubtfire, which was one of his most memorable roles. He acted alongside comedy legend Robert Williams, playing his son in the movie. A couple years later, he would get a main role in the show Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, but it wasn't until 1997 that he would start appearing on the ABC hit show Boy Meets World. He was even invited years later to be a part of the reboot spin-off Girl Meets World. Matthew saw the ins and outs of Hollywood, so did his brothers, who also acted along with him. Matthew, being a part of Hollywood for so long, exposed them to the evils that go on within it. Recently, on one of his podcast episodes, he revealed some very disturbing information about a disturbing incident he went through while in Hollywood. Matthew explained that a while back, he was invited to a hotel room by a Hollywood Oscar-winning director, where he was instructed to do some odd things for a role on a Marvel movie.
Many times in my life where I've been propositioned to get a huge role, I've lost my agency because I went to the hotel room, which I can't believe they would send me to, of a very prominent Oscar award-winning director who showed up in his robe, asked me to take my clothes off and said he needed to take Polaroids of me, and that if I did X, Y, and Z, I would be the next Marvel character. I didn't do that, and my agency fired me because I left this director's room. A lot of my other male friends have gone through with both men and women in this industry, but there's a double standard, and this is where I bring Terry Crews. Terry Crews comes out and says it, people are laughing at him. They kick him out. Why? Because he's a man that represents masculinity, and I think our society is less ready to hear that situation going on with men than they are with women.
As you heard for yourself, Matthew states that he was told to strip off his clothes, and then Polaroid pictures were taken of him. He was then told that if he met a few strange demands, that he can have a Marvel franchise role, securing his bank account for life. Since Matthew denied the offer, not only did he not get the Marvel role, but he also got dropped by the talent agency. Most of us already know that something of this sort goes on in Hollywood. However, we usually don't see an active Hollywood actor come out exposing this to the world. Matthew claimed that this was required for him to get that Marvel role. So imagine what each one of those Marvel stars did for their role. Matthew just single-handedly exposed what someone directly tied to the Marvel company was requiring for a role, showing that Hollywood is ran by a complete different system. Notice Matthew didn't say the name, as he knows if he would have mentioned a name, things would have went left for him. It wouldn't have been just his career he would have lost. Matthew grew up in Hollywood, which made him a target to the gatekeepers in the industry. Notice how when Matthew turned down the proposal, he never rose up to superstardom. His career is never going to pass where it is now because he wasn't willing to sell out. Unfortunately for actors with big dreams, this is what awaits you in the twisted world of Hollywood. This is just one of the instances Matthew felt like exposing, but he makes it clear he has been through many more situations like this throughout his career. He also brings up what happened to the actor Terry Crews, who had a similar experience as him. This brings us into the next actor we're going to be talking about, Terry Crews. Terry Crews is a 54-year-old actor best known for his role in many movies and TV shows. Before Hollywood, Terry was a linebacker in the NFL until his career was cut short. After his NFL dreams didn't work out, he would continue to get small TV and movie roles until he got his big break in the movie Friday After the Next, playing a small role as a street thug. He was a part of what's considered one of the most funniest scenes in the entire movie with Cat Williams. Terry's popularity also grew after his roles in White Chicks, Soul Plane, and The Longest Yard. He used his massive intimidating size to his comedic advantage, winning over every scene he was a part of. Terry would also end up on successful TV shows like Everybody Hates Chris and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he played prominent roles on both shows. With these roles, Teddy managed to solidify his position in Hollywood, but as we will soon find out, at a very sinister cost. While the world saw Terry as this hilarious giant, they were unaware of what Terry would be put through to be on that screen. A couple years back in 2017, Terry came out and revealed just what Hollywood had done to him while at a Hollywood event. According to Terry Crews, in 2016, a man by the name of Adam Bennett, that he referred to as a powerful Hollywood agent and executive, took advantage of him at a Hollywood event he was attending with his wife. The massive former NFL player confessed to the world during an ABC interview that Adam, out of nowhere, grabbed his you-know-what during a conversation they were having.
Is a crime. It is a crime. You cannot violate a person's personal boundary. People say, well, man, you should just laugh it off. You should just forget it. No, I'm not going to forget. I was assaulted by Adam Bennett, who was the head of the motion picture department at William Morris Endeavor. Very, very powerful man who has access to CEO heads. What they do affects every part of the business, from producers, writers, actors. They own finance companies, the whole thing.
And did you know him before the party?
And I did not know him. I heard of him. We had never, ever even had a conversation, okay? So I just heard, and actually, I was actually looking forward to meeting him. And he looked me in my eyes, and he was sticking his tongue out overtly to me. I mean, it was no mistake that this was a type tongue move. And I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm thinking, is this how this guy breaks the ice? I understand what this is. I reach my hand out, and he takes his right hand and under mine, and immediately squeezes, grabs my and I'm jump back like, hey, whoa. And he jumps back, and he still does this tongue stuff, and he's making weird noises, and then he comes back again and grabs me again. And I slap his hand away, push him back more forcefully, and I'm like, what are you doing?
She's witnessing the entire thing.
She's witnessing the whole thing. And we're just, I can't even begin to describe to you how bizarre this is. It's so bizarre. I wake up every morning like, is this a bad dream?
As you heard for yourself, Terry makes the bold decision to not only expose Adam, but he goes as far as to expose him by name. Terry states that the whole strange situation started with Adam sticking out his tongue and being weird towards Terry. He then states that Adam made his way to Terry as Terry extended his hand out for a handshake. Then, Adam allegedly grabbed his you-know-what without any warning. Terry claims that he pushed him off, but Adam returned for seconds. This all happened while his wife was there to see it all. According to Terry, he was afraid to defend himself or to come out as soon as it happened because he knew his career would be over or he would be arrested. Notice how Terry states he didn't even know the man before this day. But the thing is, this man was a Hollywood gatekeeper who was connected to many other big names that probably went through the same experience. He didn't feel like he needed permission because he was used to touching and grabbing whatever he wanted. He was doing what other Hollywood gatekeepers do. I believe Terry got lucky as he didn't lose everything, but it seems like his possibility of being a huge movie star is over. Even if Hollywood appears to be supporting Terry coming out, I can assure you behind the scenes, Terry has been blackballed. The little roles they allow him to have is to keep up appearances. It seems like Hollywood as a whole wasn't supporting Adam, but behind the scenes they were, and it's obvious they punished Terry for coming out. This is the price of fame in Hollywood. You must obey the gatekeepers. We see that Terry, just like Matthew stated, those gatekeeper men in Hollywood like to go after other men. This explains the Lil Nas X agenda we see all the rappers pushing nowadays. This is what the Hollywood executives want to push. This is the world they want to live in. The next actor we're going to be talking about is Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman is a 51-year-old former actor. He is known as a child actor for roles in movies like Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, Gremlins, The Lost Boys, and The Goonies. Corey was born into the industry as his father was a record producer, a part of the music industry. This explains how Corey ended up in Hollywood at the young age of 3 years old. Corey claims his parents used him as their child star cash cow. From the movie roles he got early in his life, Corey was able to get really famous really young, exposing him to the dark world of Hollywood at an early age. According to Corey, he experienced this evil as a kid from those around him in Hollywood. Corey also alleges he and his co-star from the movie The Lost Boys, Corey Haim, were taken advantage of on set. According to Corey, Hollywood as a whole has a problem when it comes to child actors, claiming that this is Hollywood's biggest problem that people seem to ignore.
Freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be.
Nobody talks about it.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them.
For years now, as evidenced on Nightline in 2011, Corey Feldman has been claiming that he and his good friend, the late Corey Haim, were victims of molestation when they were young actors.
Why didn't you
Kids
come
are
forward
scared.
then?
You know, kids don't think I'm gonna go. First of all, for me, the person that was doing it to me the most, you know, well, I mean, I could say that the people that did it to me were both close friends of
As you heard for yourself, Corey Feldman states he was exposed to a lot of evil while in Hollywood. He also makes it clear that Hollywood has a thing for child stars. Corey also came out and exposed Charlie Sheen, alleging he was one of those monsters. I believe a full video on Corey Feldman is needed, as there's so much that he exposes alone. If you guys want to see a full video on Corey Feldman, let me know below. The next actor we're going to be talking about is another child actor, Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown became popular as a teen actor for his role as Eddie on the hit show That's So Raven. He acted in many small roles, but it was That's So Raven that made him a teen star. He was featured in a few Disney original movies and appeared to have a Hollywood career in the horizon. Strangely, after That's So Raven, Orlando Brown seemed to disappear from the Hollywood spotlight, reappearing in mugshots and in phone shot footage. Orlando was repeatedly being arrested for substance issues. Years later, Orlando Brown started to give interviews where he spoke about a lot of things he claims goes on in Hollywood. Each interview made it clear that something happened to the young star, similar to what happened to Corey Feldman. Orlando seemed to have turned to substances to cope with what he was put through. Orlando was exposed to the evils of Hollywood at a young age, and it destroyed him. His time in the industry brainwashed him and left him with serious mental issues. I believe Orlando Brown is a victim of MKUltra in Hollywood. It appears that due to whatever he saw over at Disney Studios and in Hollywood, he seemed to have a breakdown. It appears that his mind was scrambled and that he is most likely one of those MKUltra victims in Hollywood. This is why I believe Orlando has been acting the way he is. According to Orlando, he was a victim just like Corey Feldman. He claims that a big Hollywood actor took advantage of him, and he alleges it was Will Smith. Orlando claims that Will Smith took advantage of him and many others. On this video, it's apparent Orlando's mind seems broken, so many don't know whether to believe Will Smith actually did this to him or not. I blame this on Orlando being under MKUltra and might not be remembering things all the way. Maybe he is right about Will Smith, but what we do know is that Orlando is a perfect example of what the industry does to these child stars. In this interview, Orlando Brown straight calls the Illuminati, which we know is the Masons, his family. He also claims that the New World Order is here.
Just know that this is a new world order, and if you're gonna get with it, you're gonna get with it. Now you're getting ran over.
The Illuminati. Let's just get right to it.
And just talk about they talk about no. That's my family, man. They be bro. That's my family. We not out to harm nobody. We not out to take from nobody or sacrifice nobody, you know. But just know that this is a new world order. If you're gonna get with it, you're gonna get with it. Now you're getting ran over.
As you heard for yourself, you can see Hollywood brainwashed Orlando as he openly admits to being a Masonic puppet. This explains why Orlando was wearing a Mason chain during a music video. The rant Orlando Brown goes on may or may not be exposing what really goes on in Hollywood. For all we know, Orlando could just be babbling and making things up because he lost his mind. But either way, it doesn't matter because he only lost his mind because of Hollywood. The industry consumed him since a young age and destroyed them. This is what the gatekeepers in Hollywood do to the children. These were some of the example of Hollywood actors coming out and exposing the industry. These actors made it clear Hollywood is a dark, twisted place where nobody is safe. There are still a few more actors we didn't go into in this video, so if you want to see a part 2, comment part 2 below. But that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I just want to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth Fit store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make goes directly to helping the channel and furthering Truth Records. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts below and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop new videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there for more truth. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.